Hello everyone. Welcome to my living room. Those of you who know me, I'm Yuna. Some of you know me already, I should say, and some of you don't. And so this is a 45-minute yoga class, much like what I offer in person, but now online. Good to see you. And how about we just start? You can do whatever feels comfortable for your body in the moment. So you're always listening in, really. And pay attention to what your body is saying as you're doing it, especially since I can't see you, in person. It's more important to take it maybe a bit more gently, the yoga practice, and work your way up as you get accustomed to it. And in the beginning, we usually start to just take a few minutes, about 5 minutes to settle and center. So how about we get started with that? And you can come to cross legs. You don't need a yoga block. I just prefer a yoga block. Instead of a yoga block, if you want to use one, you can use a hardcover book or anything that's a bit solid, really, that brings the ground up to you instead of you having to reach the ground. So just settling in where we're, if you want, closing your eyes. And turning your attention inward more and more. You might feel that scattered mind. And just allowing slowly yourself to center into your body. Shifting focus and attention into your center, into your breath. So you might join into your rhythm of breath as it is. Noticing the inhale and how the inhale just helps your whole body lift and expand a bit. And then with an exhale, there's this kind of dropping down with gravity. It's like a very natural rhythm that your breath automatically follow. Rise of the body, expansion as you're inhaling. And that subtle downward movement with your exhale. You might linger with your exhale just that little bit more so that it naturally lengthens. Breathing, if you're able, from your nose more than your mouth at the moment. And breathing in from your lower lung area, your belly, up to the crown of your head. And then we draw the belly back in as we exhale through the nose. Inhaling from the lower lungs. And exhaling, we draw the belly in, breathing out from the nose. Staying here for about 3 more cycles of your breath. And as you're finishing with that breathing and the centering, you can still have your eyes closed if you like. Up to you. But you might join me opening your arms and lifting through your chest and lifting into your chin. And then exhaling, we're just slumping forward where you might take your elbows, you're rounding your way forward to release. Inhaling and opening again, chest open, lift tall, breathing out, releasing. And a few more rounds of that with your breath, really opening and letting it go. Last one. And then sitting up into your vertical position. And from there, you might start to take your right arm up and over your head and let your shoulder drop. Your arm can be a little limp, in fact, as you reach and lean to the other side, to the left. So let that arm be limp if you want. And just focus in on that breath again while you're here and the lengthening of it. If you want, you could turn your head so that your chin is turning towards your right shoulder and armpit. And releasing, coming back to your upright, tall spine. Another breath, we're into the opposite side with it. Breathing out, go ahead and lean your way to whatever extent you like. And then you might even turn your head into it, chin towards the armpit. And then coming back from there. And with your knees fairly wide in your cross-legged position, you might take an inhale, arms up over your head. Again, let your shoulders drop. And then forward folding, where your belly is coming forward down towards your feet. We're just letting the head be at rest. You can lean a little right, a little left, and we're just making our way into that one hip. Start to come up and recrossing your legs so we can do the same on the opposite side. Breath, arms coming up. And then exhale to fold it down. And just tune into your breath all over again and the rhythm of it. The expansion and the contraction. And then starting to come back up. And from there, how about we make our way onto hands and knees so that you're in a table pose. Your wrists are just under your shoulders or even a little bit forward of them. Spread your fingers wide. And then really connect through the ground, through your hands, through your shins, through the tops of your feet if you can. And we'll start to drop the belly, lift the chin. Have a good full breath into that. And then when you're exhaling, you can lift your back up to the ceiling and give that a good lengthening stretch. And then we flow through it, breathing in, drop the belly. Breathing out, lift your back. And how about 3 more rounds of that at your own pace? Making a very strong connection for your base through the ground. Once you finish, back to your neutral table pose, which is always a bit strong through the core and inner thighs. And then allowing your hip, your right hip, to lean off to the right. And then your head goes off to the left. Taking a breath, come to midline, and then exhale and lean your way off to the other side. And we'll have a repeat. Again, at your pace. Side to side. Maybe one more round of it. And then once you finish, you can settle back to child's pose where you take your knees wide, your big toes back towards each other. And sit towards your feet as best as you can. Arms over your head extended. Forehead makes its way to the floor. We can take a breath and slide the right arm through the left arm, twisting so that you're on your right shoulder here. You're looking off towards your left. One more breath with that. And then you come back to neutral when you've had your breath. No rush. Inhaling, we start to move the left arm underneath or through the right. And we're looking off to the right. One more breath. And then you can start to come back to that neutral position. But start to shift your way away from the heels now. Arms over your head as we shift now into a bit of half plank. Shoulders coming over your wrists. And then you can unfurl your whole body and even lift your chin up. Exhale as you sit back towards your feet. And inhale to come forward again, unfurling your way. If it feels comfortable for your back. And breathing out, we sit back again. And a few more times, making it quite fluid, flowing through it with your breath. Final round of that movement. But this time, while you're forward, you might look towards your right foot, look towards your left foot, neutral, and then shift back to your feet again, leaning back. Having an inhale, start to transfer your weight slightly into your hands, tuck your toes, and we might start to move into our first down dog now. So spread your fingers wide, shoulder width arms, hip distance feet. Starting to slowly lift your knees off the ground and making your way into that dog. So you're lifting, buttocks to the ceiling. You might need to bend your knees to get that long line through your back. And feel free to walk into one foot and the other. Bit of leaning side to side. And then we can start to drop back to our knees and feet up onto your knees now. Taking your right foot off to the side, squaring it off. So we're trying not to let that knee dip forward. Really open it back as best as you're able. And then allow your hands to be on the ground in front of you. And you can start to shift side to side, pivoting around the heel, straightening this right leg as much or as little as feels good for you, really. So we're working into the hamstrings, but we're also doing inner thighs, mobilizing the hip. And just maybe one more round of the movement. Taking a pause with your hands on the ground in this configuration. And then we come back to both knees and start to shift into the other leg. Hands down. You might find it more comfortable to take your foot a bit farther away. Just have a play, see what feels best. And then we start to mobilize side to side, even front and back. You're shifting your weight a little back. And we just make our way around that hip. And just, how about one more full breath with this movement? And once you've finished, you can pause here, hands to ground, still in the same form. And then coming back to your knees from there and starting to tuck into your toes and sitting back onto your tucked toes, even spreading out your fingers, your toes, your little toe. Just opening our feet, so have a good couple breaths sitting here. And if you need to lean forward more, you do that. Transitioning into a squat with wide feet. So your feet are coming towards the edges of your mat. Your knees are open. You can use your elbows, tucking them into the inner knee, thigh, hands together. And then with your inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head, let your chin be low. And check with your mind's eye through your heels that they're allowed to descend towards the ground as best as you can manage. And just mindful, some people need to be a bit higher in these squats rather than low. So wherever you are. And then from there, that squat position you're still in, you can take your right arm, hand to floor, however feels best if you want, and breathe in, open and rotate to look to the left. Back to neutral, both hands on the ground, and then the next inhale, we start to shift that and breathe out to the other side. Releasing, hands to floor, feet to floor. So your toes are now facing forward. You're at the back of the mat and in a forward fold. Bend your knees. And we'll just start to slowly unfurl. Once you're more upright, you can start to reach your arms over your head and back bend a bit, pressing your thighs forward and your hips forward. And then exhale, bending forward, knees soft. Release into the forward fold again. And you might even be shifting your body weight right and left. Inhaling your way up again. With your feet a bit wide, arms open. Open through your ribs, your sternum, your solar plexus. And release. Let your breath go out loud if you like. Opening up. Exhale it out. And we can do that a few more times, even modify your foot position if it feels better. How about once more, opening, deep breath. Exhale it out. And then just shake out your arms and your legs. So there's this real kind of mobilization of stress, energy, tension through your whole body. And then we come to mountain pose at the top of the mat. Feet forward, a bit of give in your knees. Energize from your feet up through your legs. So it's like every bit of the body starts to be turned on with a switch. And then we breathe in and we start to open to a back bend. Exhale, take the forward folds. Bend your knees as much as you need. And here's where you might find you're using a block if you need it. Hands there or on your side with the shins. Breathing in to lengthen through your spine and through the tailbone. So crown of head forward, tailbone is pointing back to the wall. Have a few breaths, just warming up those hands. When you're next breathing out, soften your knees more, and then more forward fold, and then start to take your right leg back into a lunge behind you. Or you're coming down onto your right knee. And then we can inhale the arms up, unless you want them down, and come to half crescent pose. Turn around and show you from the side. Take some length through your low back. And then we're trying to also shift the pelvis forward quickly. One more inhale, and then as you're breathing out, hands down to the ground and one hand to the ground. And pausing in this forward position. Looking down to the mat. And one more breath with this. Start to shift your way back, hands to ground. Do your lunge, and you can make your way into down dog. From down dog, you can travel your way into a plank. So it could be full, it might be on your knees. And we bend the elbows back and lower to the floor. And how about have a few rounds of back bend with cobra. Little, like a tall, back to the ground. And inhale, coming up again. And releasing back to the floor. And how about from there, just pressing your way into a child's pose for a few breaths. From child's pose, you can mobilize your way into down dog again. Next inhale, you might lift your right leg. Lunging the right foot to the front of the mat so that you can drop to your left knee. And then the following breath, we make our way into that half crescent lunge again. Arms up or down. And then shift your way forward with your hands on the ground by your foot, one hand or both hands. Even your fist. Last breath with this one. And then you slowly ease off. Hands back on the ground. Down dog. Inhaling your way through your next plank. And then dipping down into chaturanga. Breathing in as you back. Sitting back to child's pose. So you might decide to just release your arms this time and give your arms a little break. When you're ready, go ahead and stretch your arms over your head again so that you can reestablish downward dog from where you are. Lifting your left leg up, lunging it to the front. And from there, how about following the right foot forward as well? You'll be at the top of the mat. And once you're there, dropping into chair. So there's this real shift backwards. Strong abdomen. Lifting up even from your pelvic floor muscles. And pulling in and up. Inhaling here and then exhale your way forward. Then we might unfurl slowly. And at some point, your arms reaching over your head again. And back to mountain from there. Having a pause. Maybe even eyes closed. And turning inward again. Back to that centered place. Next, inhale, catch the wave of your inhale as you take your arms back up. And exhale your way into that forward fold. Inhaling, hands to thighs, wherever they are comfortable. Lengthening your spine and hamstrings. And then bend your knees and fold forward. From there, we can right lunge back. And come into your full crescent. If you want to be on your back knee, you can. And you can also keep your arms down. Having an inhale here and then exhale, you can lean your way over your side. Extend your arms to your sides. So inhale, coming right back up. Having a repeat. Inhaling up. One more round of that. Arms up. And now we'll press our way back into downward facing dog after that. You might pause, or you could come through a plank again. Half the full dipping your way down through your back bend. And then into child pose or downward dog, and have that little break in between our cycles. Next, full inhale, we reestablish down dog, arms overhead, and then lift into it. This time we'll be taking the right leg up behind us. Lunging the right foot to the front. And coming into that full press on this leg with your arms up or down. And then while you're breathing out, you could expand and dip forward. The next breath, we scoop it up. Twice more. Last round. And then hands back to floor and step back to down dog after that one. Through plank. And dip. Back in. And settling from there into another child's pose, or you can sit up. Just turning your attention to your breath while you're resting. Staying present with the moment of this, even if it's a rest. 1 or 2 more breaths with this. And then we can start to shift from there again into downward facing dog for a moment anyway. And taking your left leg up behind you to figure out how to show you this thing. Left leg is up and lunge your left knee, so you bend the leg, left knee towards the left corner of your mat, and you end up in pigeon pose, tucking your back foot, pose. At the beginning, we're just pausing with this back bend version, where you might be on your fingertips a bit forward or closer to you for a deeper back bend. And then start to slowly allow yourself to come to forearms. And resting your head if you need it as well. A long line for your spine here. And riding the waves of your breath all over again. The inhale, there's an expansion. And the exhale, there's a drop down. So we use the breath to help us be in the pose more. And if you'd like, while you're here and you're on your right side, you bend your right leg. See how it feels first. For those quadriceps of your right side. You might take your right hand towards your right ankle and draw the foot, the heel closer towards your buttocks. But if you can't reach, you can just keep the leg bent. It'll work. Releasing the leg if it has movement. And then we'll make our way back to downward facing dog from there. This time, we're bending the right leg while we're in down dog. And starting to lunge that knee towards that right corner of the mat. Beginning with the back bend, you can be on your fingertips. Lift tall. Have a breath, and then as you exhale, back down onto your forehands. Now, I could have mentioned earlier, you can do this in the back. With one ankle on your thigh and holding that leg. Stay focused on your breath wave here. It's easy to wander off into this one. As soon as you catch yourself wandering off, come back into your body and your breath so that you really completely are here with the pose. Feel free to bend the left leg and take hold of your foot or ankle if you would like, and you don't have to. Sometimes your body just won't let you, in fact. But that's another option. And then starting to release that. And to come away, we can drop onto that one hip. And shift your weight to cross legs after that, as we start to really cool down now. Let your breath go if you feel you're still holding tension. Lifting your shoulders, let them go and exhale. Couple rounds even. Sigh it out. Shake it out. And then taking a pause. You might be able to cross your left leg over your right, potentially for cow's. If it doesn't happen, just cross legs is also fine. Either or. And then the right arm coming up. So left leg over right, and then the right arm comes up. You can drop it down, hand down, and just allow your elbow to come back. So we almost pull it back and draw the abdomen in. Another way to do this is wrapping your hands behind your spine and clasping the hands together. You could even tilt your belly toward your thighs just that bit more if you want. Slowly releasing your arms and unwinding those legs and off to the opposite direction. Right thighs over left. Or you're in a cross legs. This one can be a bit pretzel-like. So do what you can. Left arm up where you let that palm drop towards your shoulder blades, basically. And then you can either just pull this elbow back, draw your belly in as you do, or you can take the clasping of your hands. Okay. Either or. Last breath with this. Now I release the arms, release the legs. And start to make our way down to the floor, onto your spine now. Maybe hug your knees in and roll your way back. Let your knees be wide. And you might even come to happy baby pose where you take the big toes with each hand and really allow your knees to drop towards your armpits. An upside down squat, the purpose of which is really lengthening your whole spine. So you want to try to press your low back towards the ground. Tuck your chin towards your sternum. And then feet to floor. Enough lift of your pelvis that you can just tuck your thumbs and first fingers under your buttocks, spreading your legs out long, toes point to the ceiling. And then we prop up to our arms, elbows, chest lifted, and taking the head, crown of your head back to the ground, fish pose. Just a couple breaths with this one. Lift your chin, your chest actively, your chin. And then slow release to the floor. Really allowing yourself to be at rest. As we move from that to Shavasana, so there's nothing left to do actively. This is more a mindfulness practice to finish. And you can sit, be at rest on the mat, lying down, whatever works for you. Eyes open or closed and closed. Allow yourself to drop right down into your center again. It might be this heart area or upper back chest. It might be that you feel you're dropping down into your belly. You've got even the base of your torso. And starting to feel your way into this body more and more. The mouth, nose. The felt into your ears, your eyes. All the way around your head, in the head, surface, skin of your head. And then almost like you're dropping down into your throat. You land into your throat, starting to feel you again. From your throat, you might notice and sense your arms and the hands themselves, palms, fingers, back of your hand. Into the torso again, land all over again. I mean, that place of okayness and centering. Ease. Feeling your breath here. Sense of your legs and feet, all your toes. Heels on the floor. Feet on the ground. Opening to the sensation of this entire body. And the residue of the movement here. Strengthening, stretching, as we start to come back, you might lie down and stay there if you wish, or you can start to stretch, lift your arms over your head potentially, just putting that light to your body if you want to finish. Plugging your knees into your belly. You've been lying on your spine. But as you're doing all these things, you start to check in with yourself and see so that you register how you feel at the end of the practice compared to when you first walked into the room and started to listen in. And that brings today's session to a close. We'll have more. Tune in. Thanks for visiting me on Zoom online habit class yoga. So thanks so much. Have a lovely day. Namaste.